In today's video, we'll cover a Sorceress build that utilizes Frost and Ice Shards to do a lot of damage and have great survivability. You will be able to use this build on the server slam this upcoming weekend and possibly when the game launches later in June. Again, your main point of this build is to have great damage with Ice Shards, AoE and single target, great survivability with Frost Nova, with Ice Barrier, and with Teleport. So overall, just a great build. Stay tuned. This one is Aspect of Piercing Cold. Ice Shards pierce 3 times, dealing 25% less damage per enemy hit. This is great for AoE when we deal with a lot of enemies, so we will grab this after completing the Dead Man's Dredge. The other two, everybody can grab, but they're great anyway, is Aspect of the Protector. Damaging elite enemy grants you a barrier, so again, this will help us with survivability. And then, of course, the one we've gotten on all of them, Eluding Aspect. When we become injured, we grant Unstoppable when we're crowd controlled, and this allows us to teleport away, use a potion, or use Frost Nova, etc. Frostbolt ability, that'll be our first ability we grab, and then we're going to grab Enhanced Frostbolt and Glinting Frostbolt. We do Glinting to generate mana when we hit chilled or frozen enemies, which will be a majority of our enemies. Next up, the whole point of this build is Ice Shards. Ice Shards, it launches 5 shards at an enemy, and it deals 25% more damage to frozen, which again, we'll see through the synergy, which will be most of our enemies. So we'll do a lot of damage with Ice Shards. We're then picking up Enhanced Ice Shards. 40% chance to ricochet, but it's always going to happen off frozen enemies. And then our last one we're grabbing is Greater Ice Shards. While you have a barrier active, cast of Ice Shards treat enemies if they are frozen. So with Ice Armor, which we'll pick up here in a second, we will always have a barrier for the most part on us, so we'll always be dealing with frozen enemies. As we go to our defensive skills, we're grabbing 3 abilities. We're grabbing first one's Teleport. I think every build's going to grab Teleport. It's just such a great skill. And then we're going to grab Enhanced Teleport, which can reduce the cooldown. We are grabbing Ice Armor, 1 rank of it, again for our barrier, so every enemy is now dealt as a frozen enemy. And then we're grabbing Enhanced Ice Armor for increased mana regeneration, so we can cast Ice Shards more. And then we're grabbing Frost Nova, freezes everyone around us, and so again everyone's frozen. We're then grabbing Enhanced Frost Nova to reduce the cooldown, and then Mystical, so everyone is now vulnerable. Now with Frost Nova, we're also going to grab at level 15, we can only grab 1 enchantment on the server slam. We are grabbing Ice Shard's enchantment. So when enemies are frozen, they automatically fly out towards the enemy. So again, Frost Nova, all of a sudden now Ice Shards will automatically fly out without casting it. Then we're going to get 3 out of 3 on Glass Cannon. I think everyone's going to get this ability kind of like Teleport. We take 9% more damage, but with our Ice Armor up, our reduced cooldowns, we'll be good to go. Now, where I kind of change up the build a little bit, I don't grab Blizzard, I grab Ice Blades. Again, for a Conjuration. The actual Ice Blades aren't necessarily that great. They can make enemies vulnerable, which is good, but I really like Ice Blades for the Enhanced Ice Blades, so the cooldown's reduced every time it hits a vulnerable enemy. And then 20% of the cooldown reduction is applied to other skills. So I mainly use it to want to hit vulnerable enemies to reduce this cooldown, but it's also going to reduce the cooldown on Frost Nova, Ice Armor, and Teleport. So again, with Ice Blades up of a lot of enemies, in reality, it says a 20-second cooldown on Ice Armor. Hopefully we have this up, every 10 seconds or so. Frost Nova, we can do even more with the 2 reduced cooldowns on it. So again, a lot of survivability with this build, and then the burst comes from Ice Shards, and then the Ice Shard Enchantment. Then the last one I didn't grab any skills. You can change Ice Blades with Blizzard. Blizzard is a good ability. That's one thing I would grab moving forward past level 20. But we just grabbed 1 point Icy Veil, so our barriers last long.